Hello. As you know, we have lost many lives due to the earthquake in Turkey. It seems that if we don't do something about it, the suffering will continue. Today, in the application development series, I will talk to you about a project I have developed called depremdansona.com. I had to develop this project within 48 hours of the Hatay earthquake. There were many locations, phone numbers, aid requests, and calls for help circulating on social media, and it had become very difficult to collect and manage these in one place. In fact, Ozan Uğur even tried to form a team and implement good management. However, if we had an existing system, we could have intervened much more quickly. Of course, before the earthquake, it is essential to take many precautions regarding both the interior of the house and the structural integrity of the building. However, in a disaster, the first hours after the event are generally very important. This is actually an application I developed for the aftermath of the earthquake. Although it was not used extensively during the Hatay earthquake, it helped a few people receive food and shelter assistance. Therefore, it is again a project that makes me proud. I managed to develop it within 48 hours, and I will immediately tell you what this project includes. The I am trapped under rubble button was of course not used during the Hatay earthquake. This is because it was developed within 48 hours after the earthquake. No one was aware of the application or the website after the earthquake, because unfortunately there was no such project until that time. This is a feature that I added as something new. With this feature, if you have a shortcut for this application on your Apple Watch or phone, when you share your location in any situation under rubble, your location is shared as a notification to the places we have designated. Similarly, in the aid map section, which is the heart of the application, notifications for individuals trapped under rubble can be seen here, and direct location can be obtained through the application. The part I'm currently adding is to analyze the locations of rubble on this map in order to create a roadmap based on aid priority and the time of sharing, allowing intervention teams to act according to this roadmap and thereby save more lives. For the future, areas such as heating and clothing assistance as well as food aid can be displayed again as a matter of urgency. Completed aid requests can also be viewed here in the same way as past aid requests. In fact, the purpose of developing this was as follows. The notifications collected on the tweet include requests for clothing aid and requests for shelter assistance. It was causing a lot of manipulation and confusion, and locations were constantly being shared with each other via WhatsApp or posted on Twitter. You can respond to any request you see on social media, such as food aid, medical emergency assistance, shelter and clothing aid, or situations like sharing your home. Am I giving an example of the period when someone reported the request for shelter and clothing assistance from here? Because we need to avoid including regulations. You can enter your own Turkish ID number here and share a location link that you see in the system. Later, the system displays this on the map, and by calling the phone number on the map, it is checked whether the aid is still valid, whether it has been sent, or whether it has arrived, and actions are taken accordingly. Thus, we are also avoiding regulations and manipulations. Those who wish can share their homes from here, and that is for the purpose of providing aid. Here, we can already see people sharing their homes. A few individuals like Dukan Gökçek and Omar Suha shared their homes during the earthquake. Turul Çetin also shared his home, and these listings are still currently up to date. It will stop because, in the event of any earthquake, there will again be an earthquake aid map created here for those in need. Accordingly, some guidance will be necessary. Of course, since it was developed in 48 hours, the application is designed to manage only the content we see on social media in this area. In the context of a major earthquake in Istanbul, this mapping provides such assistance. Of course, it may not be very effective during the earthquake itself. Nevertheless, I can say that we have created an interface, a tool, where compassionate people can manage the aid they wish to provide in the aftermath of the earthquake and check on it. This tool also shows the rubble densities in the rubble map section during the earthquake. In the contribution section, when you enter your İki Kimlik Dumanı, you can see the content you have shared. At the computer, we often show a strong desire to help by sharing things. However, just sharing something or posting a story doesn't really accomplish much. In fact, there is a nice social media application here. If you notice, you can manage what you share from here. For example, you entered this information and you can check whether you received help by searching for it, or you can try to direct a team or someone to that location in some way. You can call again and mark it as completed from here if the aid has arrived there. There is an option to complete or cancel. You can actually check the aid requests that you have entered and shared through this system. I believe that this should not only be thought of as an earthquake-related project, it is a project that can be used as a help map in any request for assistance or any situation of mutual aid. Our list of missing persons is shared here. Some important phones needed after the earthquake are also shared here. I can say that this is the logic and structure of the application. For example, we made a post from under the rubble in Ankara. Right now, I am in the residential area, and it actually appears that there is a report of someone trapped under the rubble here. A search can be conducted based on the shared phone number and location. If I were to talk about the technical structure of the application, I actually wanted to use some rapid project infrastructures that I had been developing previously because I had to develop it within 48 hours. Because there was an advanced project infrastructure from the past, I can say that the ability to release this application within 48 hours was due to that. While designing the interface, I wanted to create a design that could be used more on mobile devices. This is because the application would generally be active on mobile devices. I kept my buttons wide and large accordingly because it was in a state that could quickly receive a lot of input. I used Google Apps again while developing in the same way. I designed my icon usage so that it would be clear which category it pertains to, even without reading the text. I made sure that the aid map could be actively and properly used on mobile devices as well. I used an area where I provided category transitions above. MS SQL was used as the database. Of course, it can be improved further. But as I said, being able to launch and share this in such a short time of 48 hours, which was viewed and shared approximately 1.5 million times on social media. However, as I mentioned later, I can say that I stopped sharing to avoid too much data fragmentation because other teams and systems were being established to intervene. I believe that if it receives investment, it could become a more advanced version of the application by shifting the infrastructure to a more layered architecture, allowing it to reach better places. I hope we can take much more serious steps before the Istanbul earthquake. Thank you.
From software dreams to AI schemes, we build the future on Tech Supremes. Design, evolve, your goals align. All you need is Noyen.online.